She was fired for bringing her son to work. When her new boss walked in, he said, "I was that kid." A woman was fired from her job after bringing her son with her to work one day when she had no other option. But she never expected what would happen next. Evelyn worked in sales for a large company. It was a stressful job that required her to be on the phone all day making sure clients were happy. And even though she loved her job, it was tough being away from her 5-year-old son every day. So she tried her best to balance her time between work and family whenever she could. One afternoon, Evelyn's son fell sick, and her mom had to leave early to pick him up from daycare. As soon as her mom left, Evelyn had an important meeting over the phone, and she couldn't just leave her son alone at home. She tried calling her husband, but he was out with his friends playing basketball, and he wasn't picking up his phone. So she didn't have anyone to turn to. That's when she had the idea of bringing her son to work with her. She knew it wasn't ideal, but it was better than leaving him home alone. However, the company policy clearly stated that children weren't allowed on site unless it was an emergency. So she called her boss and explained the situation to him, and he told her it was fine to bring him in as long as she kept him quiet and made sure he didn't cause any trouble. Evelyn arrived at work and parked her car in the staff parking lot. Then she carried her sleeping son inside. Luckily, the office was empty because everyone was in a meeting. So she went to her office, put her son down on the couch, and covered him with a blanket so he would get cold. Then she went to the meeting and explained to her colleagues that she had to leave early because her son was sick at home. They understood and told her to go home and take care of him. When Evelyn returned to her office, she found that her son had woken up and was playing with the toys she had brought with her. She stayed with him until it was time to pick him up, and then she left work and went home. The next morning, Evelyn received a call from her boss telling her that she had been fired due to her actions the previous day. He said that they had received a complaint from another employee who had seen her son in the office, and that she had violated the company's policy. She tried explaining that she had no other choice, but he didn't care and ended the call. Evelyn was furious because she felt like her boss had no right to fire her, when he himself had broken the rules before. Just last month, he had stayed late at the office to finish a project, and he had brought his daughter in with him. Even though she was too young for daycare, Evelyn thought about filing a complaint against her boss, but she decided against it because she didn't want to cause any trouble at work. Instead, she started looking for a new job right away. A few days later, she got an interview at a different company. This time she made sure to prepare well and make a good impression. The interviewer was a man in his early 30s, and he seemed to like Evelyn right away. She was funny and smart, and she knew exactly what she wanted to do in life. After the interview, Evelyn was sure that she had done well, but she had to wait a few days before she received a call back. The phone rang, and when Evelyn picked up, she heard a familiar voice on the other end. "Hi there, Evelyn. It's the interviewer from before. I wanted to let you know that you got the job. I think you'll be a great asset to our team, and I can't wait to start working with you." "Thank you," Evelyn replied, her face breaking into a smile. "I'm really excited too." On her first day at the new company, Evelyn met her new colleagues, and they made her feel welcome right away. She was shown around the office, introduced to the staff, and given all the materials she needed to do her job. Evelyn was happy to be in a workplace where people were friendly and helpful. As she settled into her new job, she started planning her first project. She was in charge of organizing a big event for the company's clients, and she wanted to make sure everything was perfect. She spent hours researching venues, catering options, and entertainment, and she even put together a detailed budget. One day, as Evelyn was walking through the halls of her new office, she saw her new boss talking to one of her colleagues. She couldn't help but eavesdrop on their conversation. "It's going well," her boss was saying. "We've had some interest from potential investors, and I think we're on the right track. But it's still too early to say for sure. We need to be patient and see how things play out." As Evelyn continued to listen, she realized that her boss was discussing the same event that she was working on. She couldn't believe how careless he was. He was literally talking about a major project in the middle of the hallway where anyone could overhear him. Determined to make a good impression on her boss, Evelyn decided to take the initiative and approach him with a few ideas. She knocked on his office door and walked in confidently. "Good morning," she said with a smile. "I hope you don't mind me interrupting you, but I had a few ideas about the event that I wanted to share with you." Her boss looked up from his paperwork and smiled back at her. "Of course, come in," he said. I'd love to hear your ideas. Why don't you sit down and we'll talk about it? And that's when Evelyn noticed something that made her heart skip a beat. The nameplate on her boss's desk read Daniel Carter, the exact same name as the boss who had fired her from her previous job. She couldn't believe her eyes. Could it be him? As if sensing her surprise, Daniel leaned forward and said, "You must be wondering why I look familiar to you." "Well, we did meet before, but I'm afraid you don't remember." Evelyn felt a wave of emotions wash over her: betrayal, anger, and sadness. How could she have been so blind not to recognize him? Daniel continued. "I was that kid you took to work when you had no other choice. I was so ashamed sitting on that couch in the corner while you were in that meeting. I remember thinking, how could my mom bring me here? It was so embarrassing." Evelyn couldn't believe what she was hearing. All these years and she had never known? "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I had no idea. If I had known, I wouldn't have brought you to work." Daniel waved his hand dismissively. "It's okay. It's in the past. What matters is that now we have a chance to start fresh. I want you to know that I'm not the same person I was when I was 5 years old. I've grown and changed a lot since then." Evelyn nodded, realizing that he was right. People change, and it was important to give him a chance. She apologized again for any hurt she may have caused him all those years ago, and assured him that she would never repeat that mistake. From that moment on, their relationship changed. Daniel became more open and friendly with Evelyn, and he even started giving her more responsibilities at work. He trusted her with important projects and praised her for her hard work and dedication. As time passed, Evelyn proved herself to be a valuable asset to the company. She excelled in her role and became one of the most respected employees. Her relationship with Daniel grew stronger, and they became not only boss and employee, but also friends. Looking back, Evelyn realized that sometimes life has a way of surprising you. She never would have guessed that the new job she had taken to escape her previous boss would lead her to reconnecting with him in such a significant way. It was a humbling experience that taught her the importance of empathy, understanding, and second chances.